welcome to DallasWeekly.com. I am staff writer Katrina Satterwhite, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with David Williams, who is the tech director with AT&T. Welcome, 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 David. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks so much for having me on.
Of course, we're happy to have you here. Now, of course, we really want to talk to you about this awesome thing that you did for the employees of AT&T. You enabled them to be able to work from home. It's over 40,000 employees were able to work from home based on a plan that you came up with. Of course, we're going to get into that, but first, I would like to talk about how you got into STEM, programming, science, all of that good stuff. How did you get into that?
Wow. A lot of the roles that I've had with AT&T have been technical in nature. I will tell you that, from my youth, I've always been curious. I got that from my mother. Innovation is born out of necessity. And so, it's no secret. I've come from some pretty tough neighborhoods. South Dallas is, one of the poorest corners of Dallas. And you have to figure out how to make ends meet. And so in the corporate world, in the workforce, I took that same mentality from home and brought it to work and applied it. And so that's what kind of started the whole pathway down technology. It fueled or quenched my thirst for innovation and technology. And I've just been in love with it ever since.
That is amazing. So as you know, with STEM in general, there's not a lot of diversity. Do you feel like you're
Right.
setting some huge precedents by being in the role that you're in with AT&T?
Um, Maybe, but not really. I'm just doing what I can to try to make it work. Everything is when successful. And I tell you, a lot of times I think that success is often comes to those who are too busy working to be looking for it. And so I'm just keeping my head down and doing what I can to try to contribute. The team that I lead, the automation team I lead, is very diverse. It has LGBTQ, Black women, men, Native American, Asian, the whole gambit. And so I believe, I drink my own champagne. I believe in diversity and inclusion, and it helps to bring better solutions altogether.
Oh, I totally agree with you. And I really hope that more of the youth get involved with this. I think that's, very important. There's so many wonderful opportunities in this field. So let's chat
Thank
about
you.
your plan to enable 40,000 people, employees of A&T, to be able to work from home during this crazy pandemic that we're kind of still in. So what was your plan with this? Where did you see this need, and how did you fix that issue to enable
Sure.
the employees to work from home?
Yeah, it was crazy. When the federal government shut down working in normal work areas, AT&T being a telecommunications company, the FCC regulates us and says that if we're working from home, we can't have access to certain information. And so I wanted to help our employees to be able to work securely, help our customers get connected because people needed to be connected in new ways. There were lawyers needing to connect paralegals who would work from home and so forth, all sorts of new things. And so the solution that we came up with was one that was, it was kind of like technically shooting an arrow into another arrow that stuck into a tree. We leveraged an API and repurposed it and drove this collaboration tool so that folks from home were be able to share information securely without seeing all that sensitive information as well.
Wow, 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 wow. So I understand you also, I think that's awesome, by the way. I think you also won a really, really great award. You won the 2021 Black Engineer of the Year award. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. The Rodney Atkins Legacy Award at the 2021 Black Engineer of the Year STEM Global Competitiveness Conference. It was an amazing. I got to meet Rodney Atkins, my CEO and Chow of AT&T Business. Reached out, so many folks, and so the support has been amazing. It was a tremendous experience. All the HBCUs of the engineering deans of the HBCUs were on the selection panel. U.S. Black Engineering Information Technology. It was just been amazing.
Wow, and congratulations to you for that. That is amazing.
Thank you.
So I feel like you're being modest, but I do feel like you are setting some major precedents. I really do. So congrats to you.
Well, I appreciate that. I think of myself as an anomaly. And often people who come from underserved communities, underprivileged neighborhoods are anomalies because they are not generally considered in the prerequisites of whatever awards or whatever you're looking for. And so, but that ingenuity, that tenacity, if you leverage it, you can really go far with it. I believe that a lot of times, if you bring your best self and you partner with somebody who brings their best self, 1 and 1 makes 11. And that's the cheat codes. That's how you get to the end of the line faster.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So I understand you consider yourself, you said you're a fun person. You're not really traditional, so to speak. So you have a basketball goal in your office, and you wear and you wear
I
sneakers.
do.
You
I do.
wear sneakers. Hey, that's nothing wrong with sneakers. That's
Yep. I try to bring my whole self, and I encourage my team to do the same. We have the team that I lead. We're the largest robotics process automation program in our firm, probably arguably top 5 in telecom worldwide. And on our dashboard that has all these amazing numbers is everyone's picture, name, and nickname. And so we have fun with that. And everyone on the team has a nickname, and we have a camaraderie and a culture that fosters us to be able to collaborate with no egos and go solve big problems really quickly.
Wow. I think that creates a fun environment, and people actually want to work harder, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
That's great. So speaking of sneakers, are you on the trade block scene? Are you into that?
No, I go to different places for sneakers. I'm not a full-fledged Jordanite, where I'm chasing the next new hottest trend, but I try to stay in the wave. So, it's all good. It's up.
Yes, yes, I know that's a huge thing right now. Like everybody's like totally into that. I thought I would ask you that.
Right, right.
How do you feel that other people that are, maybe you're setting an example for them? Do you feel like they're being influenced by you to go into STEM? Like you're creating more, what's the word? You're creating more drive to go into STEM from the younger generation?
I hope so. I think of the work that I do is to really solve problems. And every problem or crisis is in search of a solution and in need of a hero. Right. And, I think about, for folks who've been doing it a long time or trying to learn where is it that they want to go? A lot of times I think about Rudolph. All he needed was one foggy night and Christmas would never be the same.
Right.
Right. Seriously. And so, the pandemic was my foggy night. And thanks to my mentors, thanks to a lot of preparation, I was ready, and, work will never be the same.
Yes, I totally agree. The pandemic was horrible. It still is very horrible because it's still very present. But there were
Agreed.
The irony, there were so many great things. I hate to say that, but there were so many great things that came, out of that. It's unfortunate, but there were some great
Agreed.
things that came out of it in the most ironic. It's kind of an oxymoron, but I mean, there were some great things that came out.
Hey, look, as a whole world, we wash our hands, we hand sanitize, we're a lot more conscious of health issues and spreading different contaminants. And so, if nothing else, we've definitely learned a lesson in hygiene. So,
absolutely.
I feel for everyone who's suffered through the pandemic. My mother was quarantined during Mother's Day last year.
Oh, no.
And so while I was trying to solve for this, she and my niece were going through that, right? The whole emergency room, the whole 9. And so it's a tough situation, but, there's always a light at the end of the rainbow. There's always there's always something on the other end if you can figure out how to leverage it, right? That's really what it turns down to.
I totally agree. Turning lemons into lemonade. I know you mentioned, South Dallas can sometimes have barriers, not for everyone. I mean, some people completely thrive, as yourself. As far as the barriers, what do you think about you that made you just want to push through those barriers?
Well, I think for pushing through barriers, often when you come from communities like South Dallas, underserved communities, you grew up with a mantra of making $1 out of 15 cents, right? If a CFO were to make $1 out of 15 cents for 1 or 2 quarters, that CFO would be CEO, right? Yes. Often we go to work with this mentality, but we leave it at the door, that ingenuity of making $1 out of 15 cents. If you take that inside to the corporate environment and modify it to fit the corporate protocol, you could be very successful in taking that type of ideology, methodology, ingenuity, fortitude into those business problems and solve them.
Yes, I totally agree. It's definitely up here, changing your perspective. And so we're definitely happy for you that you've been able to cross those barriers as well. If there are people that want to get involved with STEM, where would you suggest they start? Like, can you tell us what school you attended or and how you learn more about it?
Sure. I went to, my degree is actually in marketing. And so I went to school for a different trade. However, all of the roles that I've had have been very operational and technical in nature. And so I've just gravitated to technology. It is everywhere. It's how we talk. It's how we order food and groceries. It's everything. And so if I would submit to someone who wants to get involved, I would say first, find a passion. What are you interested in? After that, find a mentor, someone who's doing something like what you're doing, who's already done it a few steps ahead of you. Doesn't have to be a grown person, just a few years older, or it doesn't matter. Have some conversations with them. They know the cheat codes. They know the potholes that you want to avoid. Listen to them, learn, and take it further. Again, if you bring your best self with someone else, 1 and 1 makes 11 every time. You just got to get close enough.
Yes, I totally agree with you. All right, well, that's going to wrap up our interview. David, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I wish you the best of luck. I know you're just going to continue to soar. And I'm so happy for you getting your award and sharing your insight with us. I've definitely learned a lot that I didn't know about today. So thank you so much. And guys, if you want to check out more interviews like these, please check us out at dallasweekly.com. You can also check out our social media, which is on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Again, I'm staff writer Katrina Satterwhite with the Dallas Weekly. We'll see you soon.